Yo, imagine going back 20,000 years and trying to find an obese human. Sounds easy, right? Well, that's where things get weird. Because for most of human history, obesity was surprisingly rare. And the reason has less to do with genetics than most people think. The real answer starts with something simple. Food wasn't everywhere. No supermarkets, no refrigerators, and definitely no late-night pizza deliveries. If ancient humans wanted calories, they had to earn every single one. And that's where things get really interesting. Ancient humans moved a lot. Walking, climbing, carrying, hunting. Their lifestyle was basically a full-time workout. No gym membership required. But movement wasn't the only reason obesity was rare. The next reason might completely blow your mind. Here's the part most people never think about. Ancient humans couldn't snack all day long. Sometimes food was everywhere, and sometimes there was almost nothing. Nature controlled the menu. Modern humans, we can get thousands of calories without leaving the couch. That's a completely new situation in human history. But wait, it gets even crazier. Ancient humans didn't spend hours sitting every day. Most of their day involved movement, walking, running, climbing, lifting. Their lives were basically a non-stop workout. And all that movement burned a lot of energy, which made obesity much less likely. But that's still not the whole story. Because another huge factor was hiding in plain sight. And once you hear it, everything will make sense. The next reason obesity was rare starts with the sun. For thousands of years, humans lived by natural light. When the sun came up, they got moving. And when it got dark, most activity slowed down. No bright screens keeping them awake. No late-night binge-watching. Their schedule was controlled by nature, and that may have affected how their bodies used energy. But wait, we're still missing another big piece of the puzzle, and it has everything to do with what they actually ate. Ancient humans couldn't just open a bag of chips. Most of their food came directly from nature. Roots, nuts, and whatever else they could find. There were no ultra-processed snacks. No giant sugary sodas. Scene 59, and definitely no supersized meals. Now you're starting to see why obesity was much less common back then. But hold on, that doesn't mean ancient humans were magically immune to weight gain. Humans back then had the same basic biology we have today. If enough food was available, body fat could still increase. The difference was that food shortages happened much more often. Nature constantly kept people guessing. One season could bring plenty of food, and the next could bring almost nothing. That unpredictability changed everything. Meanwhile, modern humans can access food almost any time. That's a completely different world. But there's another surprising detail. Ancient humans didn't have chairs everywhere, or cars, or elevators. Movement wasn't exercise. It was just normal life. And that may be one of the biggest differences of all. But we're not done yet. Because the final answer might surprise you. And it explains why ancient obesity was so uncommon. So, did ancient humans ever become obese? The answer is probably sometimes, but it was far less common than it is today because their environment was completely different. Food wasn't always available. Movement was part of everyday life, and nature constantly challenged them. Meanwhile, modern life is full of convenience, which creates challenges our ancestors never faced. That's why comparing the two worlds is so fascinating. But here's the biggest lesson of all. Humans are incredibly adaptable. We survived ice ages, crossed continents, and built civilizations. From caves to cities, from survival to innovation. And maybe that's the real answer. Ancient humans weren't immune to obesity. They simply lived in a completely different world.